What's going on, my little piglets? It's your BFF Pork Chop here, and I'm coming at you with another installment, another entry of the June Vlog Challenge 2024, which makes it June 2nd, 2024. This is take number 3, because my phone is full of storage, deleted a bunch of stuff, and forgot to hard delete all this stuff. So we should be good. If this thing cuts off after like a couple of minutes, then I got bigger problems with this phone. Already having a hard time charging anyway. But, so, anywho, just recapped what we did today, what we did last night, and she got a bunch of stuff off of Amazon. That's why she's sitting here, because she's just like, I'm tired of talking, and then it going nowhere. I could feel
I've now told like four stories.
4 different stories, and I was on my way to telling the story the second time. But anyway, so let's just recap. Our nephew Lawton spent the night last night, and
he's funny.
He's funny. He ordered a sweet tea at Denny's for brunch this morning and put more Sweet and Low on top of his sweet tea because it wasn't sweet enough. And my type 2 just kicked in just looking at him. Just looking at him. Like my blood sugar was like at 500 just looking at his sweet
Let's
tea.
not talk about the bro trying to fish ice out of his Chick-fil-A cup yesterday, and he had lemonade, and then he scratched his ear with lemonade fingers, so when he got here, the whole side of his head was covered in pulp, and I was like, what is all over your ear? And he was like, I don't know. What is it? What's on my ear? And he was like brushing it off and barely getting any. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude.
Yeah. So he's ridiculous. And I'm like, dude, you got pulp all over you. And he's like, where did it come from? I'm like, lemonade, dude. You were digging in there like you were a paleontologist, digging up bones. He almost died. He almost choked on one of the pieces of ice.
He did that last time, too.
We were driving back to the house, and he just went... And then he's trying to roll down the window. He's like, how do I roll down the window? And I'm like this. And then I'm like, no, like this. No, that button, push it down. And he pushed it down, he went, and threw it out.
He's a mess.
He is a mess. Last night he was so hopped up on lemonade because he had one at Chick-fil-A, which we had for lunch, and then he had three at Cheddar's last night.
Mm-hmm.
And then he informed me that the reason he got sweet tea this morning was because it had less sugar than lemonade. But then a sweet tea with 2 Sweet and Lows on top of it, and he had 2 of those. It's like, bruh.
It's okay. He told me there wasn't any sugar in lemonade last night.
Yeah,
so
that's not how that works.
Because he was all hyper and crazy, and I was like, no more sugar for you, bro. And he was like, I haven't even had any sugar. And I was like, you've had 3 lemonades, homie.
Wrong.
And he was like, it doesn't have any sugar. And Colin's like, it's all sugar, dude.
Let me tell you the
I
way.
was so scared.
Yeah. No, I got
God.
a Reddit notification, and she thought it was like, oh, your storage is full again.
I was going to be so
Yeah,
mad.
I was like, oh, yeah, that was just because I posted something funny on the Halloween subreddit that I'm in. But, so, we played Madden last night. The little hood rat knows how to get any player that he wants by turning them into a punter and trading for him. We'll give him, our worst overall player for, Patrick Mahomes at punter, and they'll, instantly... And then we'll trade Patrick Mahomes back and get all their draft picks. It's just we're evil geniuses.
They still lost.
We still were terrible. We lost to the Giants.
By what, 50?
It was 76 to 34 or something like that. Was the final.
Yeah.
And they're still 96 overall team. We got our ass beat by the Giants. But then after that, he wanted to watch a scary movie, so I said, all right, how about Friday the 13th Part 6? Texted his mom and I was like, hey, is that cool? And she said yes. But Friday the 13th Part 6 is probably the tamest of them. It's more of a horror comedy. It has 0 nudity, no kids die. The kills are not that violent, except for the first one where Jason literally punches the heart out of a dude's chest. But Lon's like, oh, I like it. It wasn't scary at all. It was actually pretty funny, in some parts. So I'm like, well, there you go. That's my favorite Friday the 13th movie. I'm glad I could share it with you. And he's like, but you can't show me the other movies. You can't show me, Elm Street or Halloween, can you? I'm like, I could probably show you Halloween, Elm Street, maybe not.
Halloween?
Yeah, Halloween.
Well,
because the first one's not that gory. It's not that
No,
violent.
it's not.
John Carpenter actually, on purpose, made it less violent. And then by the time the second movie came out, they're like, "Hey, we got this new series called Friday the 13th. We got to compete with. More blood, please. More gore, more violence. We appreciate you."
Yeah.
So he had to, sign of the times. But so we did that last night, and he's like, "You want to watch another movie?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, man." But after we were done watching Friday the 13th, he's like, "Yeah, I'm kind of tired." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I'll feed the cats, and then, get your Aunt Jocelyn something to drink, and then I'll go to bed, and then you can go to bed." And by the time I did all that and was about to tell him good night, he was just passed out in the recliners. And I'm like, and then I asked him today, I was like, "You gonna take a nap today?" He's like, "No, I don't fall asleep that easy."
Bro.
The past 2 times you spent the night, dude, like you're just like dead
Out
within like
before
2
the
minutes.
lights are even off.
Yeah,
Like,
I still had the kitchen light on, and it was crazy. But no, so at Denny's, we had he had chocolate chip pancakes, and he told me before we got sat that he was going to eat chocolate chip pancakes. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm just going to get you hopped up full of sugar and send you back to your mom. Like that's good." And the couple behind us were laughing. And when they sat us, they're like, "Oh, go get them hopped up full of sugar." I'm like, "That's what uncles are for. Like, that's what I'm doing it." And then I got it was called a 5-pepper cheeseburger, but you could substitute it with grilled chicken.
why am I hungry?
I don't know, bro. We ate.
Because you're talking about burgers, and I haven't had red meat in a week.
Yeah. So, but I substituted it with 2 grilled chicken patties, so I had like a spicy chicken sandwich, and it was pretty good. I liked it. And then the chocolate chip pancakes, and Lawton was like, "I didn't order hash browns." I'm like, "It comes with it, dude. Just." He's like, "Well, I'm full." Like, he was like, "Oh, I can't eat this." And then I asked the waitress, was like, "Do you want crinkle cut or wavy fries, or do you want seasoned?" I said, "Well, which one do you prefer?" She's like, "Seasoned." I said, "Seasoned it is." But it was funny though, because on our way out, the host was like, "Man, I really wish somebody would take me home." And then, of course, I have no dog in the fight, so I instantly thought it was like her trying to hit on me, but then I quickly like snapped back to reality. Oh, she wasn't hitting on you, bro. So I was like, "Hey, Lawton, you want to take her home?" And he just went, "No." like,
Still.
like right to her face, "No." And she's like, "Wow, I just got rejected by a little kid." I said, "Yep, you did. Have a good day." But yeah, I sent him home and told Jack, I'm like, "Hey, I showed him Friday the 13th. And she's like, "It's okay, it's okay." And then I was like, "Yeah, it doesn't have any sex." She's like, "That's the worst thing I'm worried about is the sex scenes in these movies for him." And she said, "I mean, thank God I didn't have sex scenes." I'm like, "Yeah, there's a sex scene, but they're both fully clothed because the actors didn't want to do a sex scene." And she's like, "What's there's like dry humping or what?" I'm like, "Pretty much." Like she's on top of him, and then they're fully clothed, and it's just like, cool. You can see his nipples, but you can't see hers. Like it's just like he has his shirt like up to here. And I was like, "Yep." So that's the nudity. That's as far as the nudity goes for part 6. And so yeah, so we hung out with Lawton, and then today we built all that stuff in the kitchen. Was that part of this take? I can't remember. They're all melded together.
That was part of the last take. So we were supposed to go to dinner, and that got canceled. So then I decided to be productive. So while he was gone, I was cleaning, and then when he got back, he helped me build some of the new stuff I got from the kitchen it's all just organizing stuff because our kitchen hardly has any cabinets. It's cool. A decent sized kitchen, but there's no cabinets.
It's like, okay, thanks.
There's only 2 drawers in the entire kitchen, and just so I bought some stuff to help organize with that, and he put those together for me, and I got those set up.
I like it when she gives me simple things to put together, not like giant things that I need to put together.
But then I ran out of steam because I deep cleaned our bedroom and cleaned in the living room. I just didn't sweep him off in the living room, and I didn't sweep him off in the kitchen. But I got my ADHD does not allow me to clean one thing at once. I'm constantly bouncing back and forth. So what would take a normal person 30 minutes to do probably takes me 2 hours to do because I got distracted by another project while I was doing it. It's fine.
Playing ping pong with your.
Yeah. So I told Colin I was going to sit down and take a break, and I went and took a nap
Yeah.
instead.
And while she was taking a nap, I was in here playing Vice City. And my grandma called and she's like, hey, can you come over? I need help with something. And I'm like, I think I got time. I think so. Which is fine because the dinner ended up being canceled. Like, cool. And so I went and helped her. But when I got there, it was humid and dry. And then by the time I left, it was like Seattle. Like it was just downpour. And I hydroplaned a couple times coming back home. Because it went from dry to half the lane being covered in water like that. And I was like, oh. And I have a 4-wheel drive Envoy, thank God. So if that happened to me in the Corolla, I probably would have flooded the engine. And that would have been fantastic. But that being said, I had a couple things to talk about the channel. But I think I got that figured out yesterday. I think I did all that yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about Choptober. And all that good stuff. Had one person comment, said we both were wearing rad shirts yesterday, which Labyrinth and Elm Street, absolutely rad. 80s, gotta love it. Let's see.
David Bowie is the reason our generation is confused.
David Bowie. It was funny because I did see a meme. It was actually like a few days before the month began, and it had all of these pictures. Like it had like Robin Williams as Mrs. Doubtfire, and it had Roger Rabbit and drag, and it was like drag has always been a part of your life. Don't make it a problem now. I'm like,
Yep.
It's accurate, and it's got Tim Curry from Rocky Horror, and Tootsie, Dustin Hoffman as Tootsie. It was just like, yeah, drag has always been a part of our lives, and then
It's actually very rich in culture. It has a long history.
yeah, I mean, David Bowie didn't do drag
No.
for Labyrinth, but he's a very pretty man in that movie.
He's a
Jareth,
very pretty man in general. Was a very pretty man in
Jareth
general.
in that movie. Like when I was a kid, I thought it was Jareth was a girl,
With a
and then
giant bulge.
well, when I was a kid, I wasn't focusing on the bulge, and as I got a little bit older, I'm like, Jared's got a bigger dick than me. Jared's the boy. Oh, it's David Bowie. Okay, now I know who David Bowie is. Like I know that now. It's like when they did that first live action Peter Pan movie, and they got a woman to play Peter Pan. So I kind of thought it was like, like why didn't he play Peter Pan and she play, It's like, well, because they're like 40 years apart, dumbass. But anyway, so that's my little shtick about like cross-dressing and drag and all that good stuff. It's like it's always been a part of our lives, whether we like it or not. It's always been a part of our lives.
And if you don't like it, you're dumb.
Yeah.
So
And if you don't like it, then Ugly Baby judges you. That's a Friends reference, by the way.
it's true.
But anywho, I guess there's nothing really much else to talk about today. So why don't we do the 30-day part 2 challenge?
This one's going to be hard for him.
Question number... Oh, it's going to be hard. Oh, shit.
Not really.
Oh, okay.
You just don't like to brag on yourself. So, name 3 things that you do well.
Yeah.
He's going to have a hard time with this.
Yeah, I'm going to be here for another... This video is going to double right now. It's going to be 26 minutes long. 3 things that I do well.
Yep.
Well, I think I'm funny.
You are funny.
I think I do that pretty well. I can make most people laugh, unless it's some random person I meet and they're just like looking at me like, it's okay. You don't know me, it's fine. Anyway, I like to think that I'm funny, which is hilarious because my sister posted it was like if you have childhood trauma and you're funny now, you're welcome, or something like that. Like it was like thanks to my childhood trauma, now I'm hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I really like I like my way that I edit. I like my editing skills. I think I can probably edit circles around some people, including like content and other things, extracurricular things that I do. And I think I'm a really good driver because I've had a lot of delivery driver jobs in my life, and I think I could drive pretty well. Except on a hydroplane with one that comes out of nowhere. But I think that's it. And I did that in 1 minute. Wow.
He was on the struggle bus.
Like, Well, do you agree with those 3, or are there 3 that you would like to add to that?
There's about a million that I could add to that.
But if you can only pick 3.
If I could only pick 3,
Yeah.
like the things that you were the best at,
Yeah.
being a friend.
Try. Yeah.
You are so good at being a friend. I mean, and I guess lump that into just like, because I feel like it's a cheap to say friend, husband, you know. So
Good at all of it.
you're good. You take care of your relationships.
I try.
You are somebody that, I mean, if somebody doesn't have a relationship with you that they once had, it's likely that they were the ones that fell off the wagon.
Holy
Because
shit,
you
you got that
nurture it. Like, you nurture your relationships, whether they be friendships, romantic, professional, any kind of relationship, you nurture them with the most care.
Oh, I did not know that about myself. And she's right. Most of the time, if I don't have a friend anymore, it's because it's on the other end. Because I do what I can to keep it around.
See, what else do you do really well? I would say that you edit really well too. I would say that that's one of the top things. Just in general, your passion for your channel means a lot. So,
Yeah.
I mean, even if you, I mean, I don't know anything about editing, so obviously I think you're fabulous, but even if there's people better than you at editing, I think that your passion for the channel is unmatched.
I
Like,
appreciate that.
the amount of work and effort that you put into your channel after working all day, after being a husband, after taking care of the pets, after being uncle, friend, all the labels that you have, and the amount of effort that you still put into your channel is admirable.
I appreciate it. Yeah, that took a lot of work. That took a lot of tweaking to do. Because like one of the reasons I quit doing the food reviews a while back was because I decided to focus on her and focus on my schoolwork, because I was going to college for a bachelor's degree. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna put y'all by the wayside. But I kind of figured out a good balance, and then now that I'm graduated, like yeah, I think I got it figured out.
I don't know what the best third one is.
The best third one? Those weren't even the best
I don't know
ones?
what the best third one is. Well, I mean, those were the best ones, but I'm trying to decide, do I go with, yeah, you're funny? Because you are really funny. Or do I go with your creativity, but that's kind of lumped in with your editing.
It's taking her longer than it took me. Wow, that's crazy.
Well, that's because I'm having to narrow it down to 3. If you gave me 20, I could just blurt them out.
Yeah.
I'd go with funny.
Okay.
Because if I say you nurtured your relationships, and that already covered how supportive you are and how kind you are, and this dude has the biggest heart. Like, the biggest heart.
Gets me in trouble sometimes.
Both of us, really.
Yeah. So I yeah, wholeheartedly I appreciate that. So thanks. Appreciate
Look
it.
at him all nervous. He's all blushy.
God bless you.
He's cute.
But unless you have anything else that you want to talk about.
I have talked for 40 minutes now
Yeah.
in 3 different videos.
So
So
hopefully this is done. I got a couple of things that I got to do, so including uploading this video in a timely manner. So, all right, y'all, we're gonna get out of here. Again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, any of that good stuff, let me know down below in the comments. Appreciate everybody that watched yesterday. I think it said my average views per video went up because of yesterday's video. Because weekly they judge you by statistics, and then they'll have like a little cute little green arrow pointing up, or a little red arrow pointing down, or like a flat line that tells you that you're right on par. So y'all improve the views, which is crazy with the food reviews. But anyway, all right. Like I said, we're gonna get out of here. Thank y'all, and always remember, my little piglet, Scarlet Pork Chop loves y'all the most. So y'all take it easy, guys, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, guys. I'll turn that off.